Hey guys, Raid0AU here, and welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. This is episode 8, and continuing on with our capital vessel build. There's been a bit of a delay since the last episode, and if I head up over the hill here, I think you'll see why. No scaffolding and no capital vessel. And that's because while I was filling out the capital vessel, I had a similar problem that I had in the last episode. That when I placed a block down, it threw the whole thing sideways, and the whole capital vessel toppled off the scaffolding, landing on its roof on the ground. So, lesson to be learnt there. It's one of those don't try this at home things. I thought it was a decent idea, but the way that it throws things around if something's misplaced, and to be honest, I'm still not sure why it did it. I know I definitely didn't misplace the block. I think what may have happened is I might have been standing too close to the block when I placed it, and it may have clipped my character or something like that, and that's thrown it. Not 100% sure there, but so what I did was I tore down the scaffolding. I tore down what we'd done on the capital vessel. I can hear the groans already, and because of that, what I then did was I decided I'm going to build it on the ground. But just on some level ground. So if we pan over here, welcome to the new capital vessel. Effectively similar design to what I was doing down there. It's just basically I started building it from the ground up instead of from the top down. So basically I haven't really done, all I've done here is basically this is the empty, like an empty shell at the moment. But this is on the front I haven't done anything with yet. So I haven't done any shaping on the front or anything like that. So you see it's just a square. And I've left some of these blocks open here, and on the other side I haven't put any. So you'll see there what I've done is I've created the inner space out of interior blocks, and then I'm cladding the outside of it with hull blocks. Just for a bit of extra protection, and I want the inside to look different to the outside, so that's the easiest way to do it. As you can see, I haven't clad this side at all, and I certainly won't be doing that in this video. I'll do the cladding and things like that offline. It's off camera. It wouldn't make for the most riveting of videos, I dare say. One thing I will say is in building this, I'd have to say the grinding in this game is very real. So any of you watching this, if you don't like grinding out materials and grinding out blocks and things like that, you're probably gonna not enjoy it so much. I do enjoy the building process, so for me it's a means to an end. So basically I'm happy to do that. Now, so I'll run you through it. So we're on the bottom level here. Basically this section here I'm thinking is going to be the docking station for both the hover vessel and the small vessel. So both of them can sit in here while we're travelling around. Got an elevator block there. Been thinking about this elevator. I'm going to need to move this back. The reason being that this is going to be open to space down here, and if I want to go out in the small vessel, basically when I come down here the door's going to open and it's going to be in a vacuum. So I need to move this back a little bit, at least a block or something like that, so it doesn't automatically open the door when I bring it down. Reason I put it here was that it lines up with the top there, but it doesn't need to be honest. So, and then we've got our large section down here. Now, down the front here, there is a cockpit here. I've left it there at the moment. This is not going to be the cockpit or the control room down here. all this down here is going to be farming area. So I'm going to put a lot of growing pots down here. And that's the reason this is a little bit wider than the top. So with the growing pots and or the growing lights, each growing light will support a 3x3 grid, and you put one in the middle. So I've made this 3 wide there with a single line of blocks in the middle, just as like a path in the middle of it. Now further down here, what I'll do is I'll block some of this off. I'll put a wall in with a door, and there'll be another. Actually, there probably doesn't need to be another wall with a door after that. And then this section down here is just going to be storage. I'm just going to have some cargo boxes in there. That should be enough storage for us. Then we come up to the top level. And this is the back of the top level here. This room here is going to be the crafting room. So in here there's going to be the constructor and the food processor. I might have a couple of crates in here just for probably only 2, to be honest. Maybe 1 for ingots, and just in case if the room, because you only have limited room in your constructor. So if I start to get low on room in the constructor, just for maybe components and things like that, but we'll make it aesthetic. Like, we're looking at aesthetics as well here. So these are all going to be sliding doors here. This next room here is going to be the generator room. I'm going to have a large generator on each side, probably up the top here. And then I'm going to have a fuel tank on each side of it, and then probably a control panel down here, just a decorative item. One word with decorative items, you need to be a little bit careful with them, because if you're trying to do a efficient build. Now bear in mind, this capital vessel I'm building is not built for efficiency. I'm not looking at energy efficiency or anything like that. If I was looking to make an efficient build, I'd certainly make something a little bit smaller than this. But basically, when you look at some of these items in here, so say like the consoles here, you'll notice it has an energy in. It does use up some energy from, and some of them are only small. Some of them can be quite large, large drains and things like that. Something like this, the antenna is 20 kilowatts, so that's quite a lot. Radar, 5 kilowatts. It's quite large as well, just for a decorative item. I'm thinking I'm probably going to use that at some stage and at least put one up on top of the, just for looks more than anything. Some of them don't. Some don't use any energy. But especially these types of consoles, they do use a little bit of energy. So you want to, yeah, if you want to use them, try and use them sparingly, I suppose. Now, this room up here is going to be my living quarters, probably on this side, and on this side I'm going to have an oxygen station and a medical station on there with some oxygen tanks and things like that. I could probably put the oxygen station and the medical station on this side, and maybe the oxygen tanks on this side here. This side's going to be all about living quarters, so I'm going to have bed and things like that, and probably a bookcase and maybe a couple of plants or something just to make it look decent. Now this is where this is going to be the control room here at the top, and that's why I've left this. I want these to be open windowed, so that you've got a good view out of each side on there. And that's basically it. So that's kind of where we stand at the moment. So this video, I thought what I'd do, I've made a number of items that we want to be putting in, and I thought we'd look at placing some of these items in for this video. So that one, of course, it's a little bit bigger than the one downstairs, isn't it? You know what? I'm not going to place that one in there just yet. This might be one to go I'll rotate it round. And I could probably make another one of those. I could place that there. I could probably, and then probably place another one over here. Make one of the similar ones to downstairs and place that at the front here as a center thing. As a center console. But you can pilot it from any of them. It's just obviously from this one you're not going to see much. And you see there that basically it tells you if you press P when you're in your base or in any of the vehicles, or in the cockpit, if you're manning the cockpit in the capital vessel, then basically it'll show you your power usage and what's using power and things like that. And it also tells you obviously what you're missing. So I'm missing all these things at the moment, which we know because we haven't put them in. So, and this will all light up and things like that once we power everything up. So on this side, now you'll notice here that I have left a gap here. I do want like a little window each of those. I'm only going to put one generator in at the moment. Main reason for that is I've only built one at the moment. So, and what we'll probably do is if we rotate it around like that, that can sit up there. And then we can put fuel tank. I'll put the two, I've made 4 fuel tanks, so I'll put these all in. Fuel tank. And then we'll put another generator up here. And then on each of them, basically what we'll do is we'll put a console down the bottom here, which will be, once again it's decorative. But it's basically you need a console to control the generators. So that's the idea there. So I'm starting to get an idea. Now, what else have I got in here? Large constructor. Large constructor. Oh, actually, we could put the medical and the oxygen station in. Let's see, this is the oxygen station. Where do we want to put that? Yeah, probably there. Rotate it round. Same with the medical station. Rotate that round. Do there. And we'll put some oxygen tanks in. Now, when you're putting oxygen tanks in, I've got 4 oxygen tanks, but at the moment, basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 in. And 1 there. In fact, I'm only going to put 2 in. Because the problem is, if I put that one in there, I'm not going to be able to reach the one in the back corner. So, that's okay. So that's the oxygen tanks in. Now, constructor. It's going to go in the back corner. I'm going to rotate it round. There's a... I think that might be the way it's supposed to. You can never work out which way these are supposed to go. If there's a correct way for it to go. Alright, so we've got the constructor in. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do here is, basically, so I've got to move this elevator, and I'm thinking I'm probably just going to move it back here. Maybe even back to this one here. And then what I'll do is I'll just put a block there so that it blocks it off. So you can only go as high as where you need to go. What else have I got in here? Alright, so we've got the RCS. Do I want the RCS? No. Alright. So yeah, the other thing that's down here, along with storage, is I'm going to have the things like the RCS, the warp drive, all of those sort of things. So let's have a look. There's a very good chance that I may have got some measurements wrong here. Yep. So we're going to be moving that. So as you can see, this is huge. This warp drive is massive. I think the only thing I can do is really place it to one side. Maybe like that. Place it to one side there. We've got a lot of farming room here. And then this gets, we're just going to have to run around it when we want to, because that is massive. That is huge. So as you can see, I mean, to be able to fit your warp drive in, you're going to have to, your floor is going to have to at least be 5 wide, which then plus walls basically means you're looking at a build that's at least 7 blocks wide. That's the minimum you're going to be able to do and be able to fit this warp coil in, this warp drive in. Now, how big is this thing? Alright, this one's actually not too bad. I can just go back here. That's the gravity generator. And then do need to put a RCS in. And the RCS is really nothing. It's, there we go. And then what we'll do is we will put some, as I said, this will be going. So what we'll do is we'll put some cargo boxes just along here just to fill it out, and then basically we will put a wall along here. So the wall, we should have enough blocks here to do this. So that's, so we need to go there, there, there. There. Right, so what does that give us? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out one of these 3 block things, and this front is going to come across there. It's going to come across there. Now, here's the warp coil. Now, part of the reason I didn't want the warp coil on the bottom is because basically then it's exposed at the bottom. But what I'm going to do is once I've got it basically done on the outside and I power it up, probably do it maybe up in space, is I'll go out and I'll clad the bottom as well, and I'll probably line it with armor plating just to protect it a little bit more. I haven't decided completely about the armor plating yet, but that was the thought I had. I'll think about that. Still got a bit of work to do here on this. So this will be our growing quarters here. The other thing is you won't see the core from here because this area here is all going to be growing blocks, growing pots, and there'll be a line of, in fact I could put the line in now. There'll be a line there. And what that also means is that when we come through here, we're going to need stairs or ramps to get up on that. So, we got 1, 2. I wonder. Probably just a ramp, I think. It's probably the way to go. I've got ramps here. So, or slopes, I should say. Just rotate this around. Let's have a look. Yeah, so I reckon that does it. And then what we can do, it's a bit of wasted space here. We don't need it for anything. I'll just go there. Go there. That just gives us a platform here to view from. And then we fill these in with the growing pots. Still can't believe the size of this warp drive. But it looks alright, and it probably looks really good once it's powered up. I haven't seen a warp drive powered up yet, so that'll be interesting. This scaffolding here is just temporary, obviously. It's just to allow me access because the back end's hanging up in the air a bit. And at the back here, what I'll probably do is I'll probably remove the 3 centre blocks. 2 deep, and I'll put those as ramps. Although having said that, we do need to do a bit of styling on the back here. I've done a little bit here, and there's still a little bit to go here, so I might only need to remove the first row here. We'll see. Once again, a lot of that I'll probably do off camera, and then I'll explain it once we come on camera, because it can be time consuming doing that, and it's probably not the most exciting of things to watch. So, but what I will do is I'll go over see what else I've got in there that I could maybe see if I can build one of those other cockpits, because I'd really like to put the cockpit in. Had this crafting all sorts of things. Running low on, oh, I've got 10 iron left, so I need to do some mining of iron, which I'll do. I've got a bed. Control station. Did I make anything else? Let's have a look. Can I make that cockpit? Yes. And which console do I want? Probably that one. Make 2 of those. Yeah, where did that cockpit go? There it is. 2 of those consoles. And I did want one of the other cockpits, that one. So what we'll do is we'll go and place these items down. Video's getting on a bit. and we'll call the video there. I'll do a little bit more work off camera, mainly the styling outside and things like that, just cladding it and doing the grindy bits, and then we'll come back in. You know, obviously we've still got to do the thrusters and things like that yet. Now the idea or my thought process on that was, on the side here I'm just going to have on each side a bit of a sort of a pod, I suppose. So any way I could describe it. This block thing here is nothing to do with it. That was temporary just to allow me to get up there. And the reason being, basically the pods will have the rear thrusters. There'll be one on each side in it, and also it'll have some turrets along it. There will be turrets obviously along the top as well, and hopefully between those they should keep us fairly well protected. But that's the thought. I think I've mentioned in previous videos that I haven't sat down and made a detailed plan about how I'm doing this. So it is very much on the fly, sort of adapting as I go. So first thing I think I'll put in is we'll get that cockpit in, and we'll put the other one in. So how far back do we want it? That's probably a pretty good spot. And then when I'm sitting there, basically this will have a slanted window, so slanting forward is what I imagine. And then we can use these ones, rotate that one around, we'll put those ones in there. So we've got the two other cockpits, but basically, you know, these would be like support crew, I suppose. These would be your support staff. Alright, so now we've got bed, the control, just so you can see what I mean about the control thing. Should be able to put this in here. Maybe they weren't the right ones. Alright, I'll rethink those. Might have to use a different one that's only one block wide. Yeah. Remembering these are going to be windows, so basically I'm thinking that I want to be able to wake up and look out the window at the stars, or lie in bed and look at the stars, so they can go in there. What do we got here? Control panel, and we've got a bookshelf. Come back in here. Artificial plant. So let's have a look here. That one could probably go like that. Bookshelf next to it. A bit of a potted plant there. Yeah, something like that. And then we'll have the window in there. So that should be pretty okay, I think. Yeah, Well, it'll do for starters anyway. As I said, those consoles I made, I'm unhappy they're 2 blocks wide. No, so I need to get the single block ones. And we can place those in here. What I can do is put some fuel in at least in some of these, just to... I got more than enough fuel in... so what I'll do is I'll bring just a little bit out, just so I can put some in each of them. I'll do. There we go. The one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to turn the that on. So I think you can probably see the idea of where I'm going with this. Let's see, fill those with oxygen. And down where I have the where I'm going to have the storage crates, or even I could probably do it in here. I've probably got room in here to put a bit more oxygen and a bit more, a few more fuel tanks. Over here I could have the I could have a fridge and the food processor, and then over this side I could have like, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 spots there that I could put things in. So I could have a couple more oxygen and 3 more fuel, or I could place some more down here as well. Down in this section here, kind of make a bit more sense as well. Maybe have the storage up there. That probably makes more sense. I'll put some storage crates up there, and down here I can have some more oxygen, things like that. Bearing in mind that this is going to be coming forward, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can do that all the way down that line there. So that probably makes more sense. But we'll see. As I said, we'll adapt as we need to. But there you go, guys. So that's where I'm up to at the moment with the capital vessel. Off camera, I'm going to do a bit more mining. I need some iron now, and a bit more of the grindy bit. And then hopefully next video, what we should be able to do, I'm hoping to have the pods built on the side and things like that. Should be able to put all the thrusters in, power the thing up and take it for a test drive. And we'll see if it actually works or not. Got no reason why it shouldn't work, but, having said that, I haven't tried it. So, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen today. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing everyone next time. This is Raid 0 AU, signing out.